I guarantee you Barack Obama's daughters didn't spend as much. I guarantee you Barack Obama's daughters probably spent less time with him while he was president than Cam Newton's kids spend with Cam Newton. He's playing for one season a year. So that's what I'm saying. Like people, this is a disingenuous argument because it's not like we've never heard of high functioning men not having time to be home before. This isn't the only reason y'all care is because he has multiple women. If he had one woman with the same lifestyle and the same amount of kids, no one would be complaining. It's just because it's a black guy with multiple women. It's just because it's a black guy with multiple women.
Nobody cares about you having multiple women. You would have made a bunch of kids with these multiple women.
If Cam Newton had all his kids, if Cam Newton had all his kids with one woman and had the same exact career, nobody would be questioning whether or not his kids are taken care of.
Of course not, because that's the way you do it. That's called a family.
But what I'm saying is, in that situation, it's actually logistically possible that those children are receiving less care. So that's proof to me that y'all are not concerned about the level of care that the children are getting. It's more about policing the way he lives his life. It's more about, we don't like the fact that he's free to live this way. We think he should be living a certain way, even though we have no evidence that this is negatively impacting his children. There's no evidence.
We do have evidence. We have tons of studies.
What's wrong with his children?
I mentioned that already.
What's wrong with Cam's children?
You're not listening to what I'm saying. We don't know yet because we don't know those children personally. Excuse me. Wait. But what we do know is that there has been research and study done on this topic in particular, and it has been decided and discovered that the nuclear family is the best move for us. You're not, so I can't.
On multi-millionaire.
Hold on, y'all. One at a time. Let's make sure we're not talking.
You asked me where the evidence was, and I'm telling you exactly where it is. It's in all the studies that we've done to figure out how to better advance the Black community. We know what it takes. We know that it's causing more harm than good for Black men to go around making multiple children. He ain't even got the most. Eight, and like you said, 2 of them are adopted. They're not adopted from the orphanage. They're adopted from his other baby mama. But there are men that are doing worse than that. And there is nothing. The thing is, there's nothing progressive about it. It's not helping anything. It's not making anything better.
As far as I'm concerned, the only problem with making multiple children is if you are not fathering and supporting those children. If you are a father, right? No. Notice I didn't say financially. I said fathering and supporting, right? So if you're fathering those children, raising them, giving them advice, if you're being an active father while also financially supporting your children, and if the mothers are being active mothers, then I don't see what the problem is with an active father and active mothers raising their children with an abundance of money. I don't see a problem with that. I think people are worried about the wrong thing. It's a bunch of people that are complaining about Cam Newton's situation. They got baby moms that they not taking care of. They got kids that they not taking care of and got situations worse than Cam Newton's situation. But people are worried about whether this multimillionaire can take care of his children. I'm pretty sure he can figure it out. I'm pretty sure this multi-millionaire.
The father on the panel just spoke.
All I'm saying is I'm pretty sure his kids will be fine. All of the people pretending they're so concerned about his wealthy children, I'm pretty sure his wealthy children will get a great education. I'm pretty sure they have plenty of family time with their parents. I'm pretty sure they eat healthy meals, and I'm pretty sure they have roofs over their heads. What people need to be worrying about is their own kids that don't have roof over their heads, that don't have clean clothes. These kids that are going to school, and can't even read past the 2nd grade reading level. You got people that are married have kids that are running the street, but they worried about Cam Newton's rich children. I don't understand that. They're rich and they're taken care of. Maybe he's not living a lifestyle that most people would agree with. However, to call his situation broken when you don't know, to me is crazy. There's a lot of people with worse situations than his. There's a lot of guys out there with more kids that aren't raising their kids at all. Let's worry about them. Let's not worry about the rich niggas that are taking care of their kids.
I think as he was talking, I just wanted to say, let's take the finances out of it and then look at it differently. Because, of course, these are rich men that we're talking about. Obama, Cam Newton, Nick Cannon. They have the resources to send their kids wherever they are, to spend time with them, And just because Nick Cannon's shooting shows or whatever, his kids can be with him on set. Okay, it's not a situation where he can't afford that. So let's just take the financial aspect out of it and do a comparison to a regular man that's having, or should I say, an average man, who has multiple families and they cannot afford to do the same things that they can do. So I don't think it's so much focused on a rich nigga who blah, blah, blah. I think it's just a comparison to men in general. Like, yeah, if it was a man who had 3 or 4 families, of course he's not going to be able to do the same thing. So let's just take the finances out of it and then analyze things.
Okay, if we take out the finances, is he present in his children's lives? Does he raise them? Does he educate them? Does he teach them? Does he protect them? Does he provide? If he does all of those things, well, to say when he's around is like all fathers that are working to provide for their children, especially high income producing fathers, usually they're not around a lot.
When he's working, not when he's laid up with somebody else making more. All right, children, but that's
what
not
I'm
working.
Saying is, whether he's laid up or not, okay, you can use that argument, right? But the thing is, whether if he had 8 children by one woman, right? While he's spending time and caring for one child, he might not be spending time and caring for another child. So anybody who has multiple children and responsibilities in their life is going to have their time split, period. So my thing is, like, if we know that, why is the standard different for him? Every father has their time split, especially when they're trying to provide for their children. Again, when I brought up Obama, right? Nobody batted an eye at the idea that maybe nobody would say Obama's home is broken because he was busy running a country for 4 years.
Because that's not what a broken home means. Obama is the worst example you could have used.
The reason why I'm using Obama's example, because if we compare the time thing, right? Cam Newton goes away for multiple months a year to be able to do his job, so he's not home.
I get what you're saying.
President Barack Obama, he's running a country, he has to be away from home. So what I'm saying is, why is it that we're poorly judging this career's version of not being home, but we're not poorly judging the other one? The president is away from his kids.
Barack Obama now, and where was he before he became president? Because he was only president for 8 years of their lives, in which most of the time those children did travel with him and with security. He ain't traveling every single day just because he's the president.
Hold on, I'm not saying his children didn't travel with him, but the point that I'm making is, if you're an ambitious person, an ambitious man, the chances that you're going to be around your kids all the time is not realistic. Most ambitious men are not around their kids that much. That's why they want stay-at-home moms. That's why they want stay-at-home wives, because they know their career requires so much of them that in order for the children to get the love and nurturing they need a woman who doesn't work. So what I'm saying is, you're talking about a man. What I'm saying is, you're talking about a man who has multiple women under his leadership, under his provision and protection to take care of his children. His children are not wanting.
If he live in a different state. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Louise. Was you about?
All right. You're living in a different state. Again, you're thinking from the perspective of someone who can't hop on a private jet and be anywhere in an hour.
It still takes an hour. By the time you get there in an hour, the robbers already broke in and took everything.
It already takes most parents an hour to get from work to home to go pick up their kids. It takes most parents an hour. So why is it different? Because it's taking him an hour by jet, but it's taking you an hour to drive from work to go pick up your son from daycare. It's no different. Your kids will probably be in daycare for 7 hours a day, and his kids probably won't see him for 7 hours a day, just like most families. But it's just that y'all weigh it against them differently because they're famous to have multiple women.